Hey everyone, it's Miss Sauer. We are here on Monday, May 4th, finally May, not too much school left for us. We'll be entering Unit 11 in Fundations, and we are in the first week of that. So we're going to spend 2 weeks on Unit 11. As we typically do when we start, let's review some of our sounds. You have your regular alphabet here, glued sounds to the right, and digraphs below. I would take this time to pause the video and point to some cards that you want your child to say the sound of. Try to pick the ones that you know they have down and also ones that they need a little support on. If you're a child working alone, you can always close your eyes and point. When you open your eyes, say the sound that you're pointing to. Here's a review of some of the suffixes we've learned. Last week was the last time we'll look at suffixes for a little while. We're going to switch our focus back into base words, but some suffixes you know are suffix s, suffix ing, and suffix ed. Here's the new page. This is going to teach us to be more flexible with our vowel sounds, and you'll see why based on what today's lesson is. So vowels have a short sound, and they have a long sound. The long sound of a vowel is when it's saying its own name. So one way you can help kids to figure out the flexible vowel sounds are to say the letter name, say the short sound, then say the long sound. We can do that with this first one, A, A. A lot of times that long sound will be the same as the first thing you said because we tell kids that a vowel is long when it's saying its name. Now let's try here. E, E. I, I. O, O. U, U, oo. So this last one is a little different. Pay close attention to this one. The letter U in a word, when it's saying its own name, it can kind of take on two sounds. It can say you, or it could say oo. That'll happen a lot. It usually doesn't throw kids off, but we like to teach both anyway. So I'll run through that very quickly one more time. We're going to start putting it in our daily routine. A, A. E, E. I, I. O, O. U, oo. It kind of sounds like we're speaking another language or something, huh? Kind of cool. All right, moving on. So here's your background knowledge for the new concept today. There are 6 different syllable types in our English language, and 2 of them you've already learned. Way back in maybe September, you learned about open syllables. That's here in the orange. In an open syllable, a word is ending in a vowel, and that vowel says its name. An example of that would be she or go. We mark that open vowel with a macron to show that it's long or that the letter is saying its name. Sh, E. E is long, E is saying its name. How about in the word go? We put a macron over the O because the O is long, O is saying its name. Go. Those are examples, again, of open syllable words. Another one you've learned and we've been constantly working on are our closed syllable words. That's here on the clover in yellow. So some simple examples of closed syllable words would be words that end in a consonant or a couple of consonants, like a blend or a digraph. Examples would be cap or dent. When a vowel is closed in by consonants, it makes its short sound. The short vowel sound is the one we've been studying hardest this year. So in the word cap, A says ah. That's a short sound because it's closed in by a consonant. Now look at the word dent. D, nt. E says because it is closed in by some final consonants. So E will make its short sound. Today we're going to learn the first parts of another part of this clover. We're actually going to be focused on the magic E part of the clover. However, I'm going to introduce it very isolated to start, and then we'll get broader into the concept. So listen to these words, kids, okay? And you want to listen for the vowel sound you hear that is the same. Game, rake, plane. I'll say those words again. Listen for the vowel sound. It'll come in the middle. What is the sound they have in common? Game, rake, plane. Hopefully you said A. And we're talking about the sound A. Don't worry about the letter right now. Don't worry about the symbol that represents the sound. The sound you're hearing that's the same is A. Game. G. A. Game. And then your mouth fixes it up the right way. Rake. A. K. Rake. We hear A. And so here's how we're going to be spelling that. This is your first magic E sound pattern. This is how we make a long A sound when a magic or silent E comes at the end. Look at the example word, game. I put a macron over the letter A because it's making its long sound. A is saying its name here. But I crossed off the E at the end. Look at the word again, game. The last sound you hear is So what is E's role here? E is not making any sound, but yet he's there. This is a magic E. The magic E jumps over from its spot and tells the first vowel to say its name. Interesting. E is not making any noise, but E is telling another vowel what to do. A magic E at the end makes the first vowel say its name in a word like game. So if I were giving kids a test and I was testing sounds and I say, show me how you would spell A, most kids would just write the letter A. And now you also want to add in A-E. Pause the video and have your child write A-E while your mouth says A. Do that 3 times. So for example, A, A, A. You want to do that 3 times to try and get it ingrained into the kid's brain. Go ahead and take a break to do that. All right, moving on. So here I have a list of magic E words that all follow the A-E pattern. Now, I have marked all of these words for you. The reason I did that is to remind you that A will be saying its name, A will be making its long sound in these words. I crossed off the E so that you don't make any E sounds. Remember, E is silent in the magic E syllable type. E is telling the other vowel what it needs to do. Let's play with the first word here. Safe. Safe. Now here's what some kids might do in the beginning because they're still learning. Some kids will accidentally say saf. Is saf a word that we know? Nah, I must have done something wrong. So be flexible with your vowels. Look for that magic E at the end. Let's say it the correct way. A. Much better. That's a word we know. Remember, don't pronounce that E at the end. Wait till you hear how funny it sounds. Safety. Safety. That's not a word. Remember, long A, make A say its name. Make that E just shut right up. Don't make any E sounds at all at the end. Pause the video, read through the list, and then I'll go through it with you. Here we go. Starting on the left side. Safe. Lake. Take. Flame. Whale. Plane. Grape. Blaze. How'd you do? Did you get them all right? Hope so. Here are some short phrases and sentences that you can practice reading to see what a magic E would look like in a sentence. I'll do the first one completely with you. Squish a grape. Mom will squish a grape to chomp. Now I know that I can read magic E words in a sentence. That makes me feel really confident. Why don't you pause the video and try out the next two? And those two sentences were, make a splash. A whale can make a big splash. By a flame. Is it safe by a hot flame? Look at that. We can read these A-E words in a sentence. Very nice. So don't be scared of them when you see them. You know what to do with them now. All right, so now it is your turn. If you're in Miss Sauer or Miss Azzarano's class, you can head right to Seesaw. This assignment will be waiting for you. Your job will be to mark the words and then record yourself reading them. If you are working in another class, I would grab a piece of paper, write these words down, and then have your child mark them. Remember, the way we mark A-E words is by putting a macron over the A to show that it's long and cross off the E because it's not making any sound at all. I tell the kids, go ahead and shut that E up. And then they always yell at me. They tell me I've said a bad word. But if it makes it stick, it's good. So again, if you're in Miss Sauer and Miss Azzarano's class, you can head to Seesaw. If you're in another class, write this stuff down. And before I go, remember what we learned today. Magic E. In A-E, A makes the long A sound, but we don't hear the E at the end at all. E's job is just to tell the first vowel what to do. Wonderful job, guys. Good luck with the new concept. We'll keep going tomorrow.